With the Minosaur Wars coming to an end, interest is quickly shifting away from the Minosaur. Now, most people have already picked their Minosaur. Either they're happy with one of the two masterpiece versions that are out, or they're waiting on the fans' toys. So interest is quickly shifting to the Defensor Wars. So we're going to talk about the new era of Defensor Wars coming up. So there are really two major contenders right now for the Defensor War. Now it's X-Transbots on the left, and we have MMC on the right, and there's several distinct differences about them. First of all, we know for a fact that MMC is going to be all-in-one. We don't know just yet if X-Transbots will be, but it's starting to look like it will be all-in-one by the pictures for X-Transbots when it comes to the torso and all that. We don't know about the hands and feet. Those will probably be add-ons. It's all just assumptions and guessing, but it's pretty good assumptions and pretty good guessing. We don't know if it's going to take parts forming or not. Now, the other big thing here is the scale. Now, these are the only two true masterpiece scale figures out there, more or less, and you would see the MMCs on the smaller side. X-Transbots is on the larger side. Now, for bigger is better, most people that want the bigger version are probably going to go with the X-Transbots. It's going to be close to 20 inches tall, and again, their Minosaur was almost 20 inches tall, so he was a pretty good-sized bot. Everyone thought it was going to be drastically underscaled, and I just don't think it is. I don't think it's that small. It fits in just fine with the rest of the big boys out there, and he's actually one of the smaller combiners in the show, so that works out really well also. So the real problem that we saw with X-Transbots was because of the trailer. Now, it is a fiddly transformation, and it doesn't feel really solid in transformation. Finally, once it's combined, it does sort of feel solid and stands there fine, and I don't have any trouble with mine. So X-Transbots has proven they can make a Minosaur. They can make a combiner figure. And since it's a different character, will we see the same pricing structure issues that we saw with the Minosaur, where the trailer came at the end for $200 or $230, and then you had add-on parts and all this stuff? Well, nobody knows just yet. So there's pre-orders up right now for the Fuzz or Streetwise. Going to be 6.7 inches tall. Due out allegedly in late May of 2021. So it'll be the first one that we get to see, the first of the offerings of this team, and we'll get to see exactly the quality and how it's going. But we kind of have seen X-Transbot slip in quality, but it looks like this is probably going to be a solid figure. I believe the transformation is going to be way less than we saw with Locke, and way less than we're seeing with their Minosaur trailer. See, each individual bot of the Minosaur was fine, so I don't see any issue with this one. Yet we still don't have a price. We don't know how much it's going to cost, and that is kind of a bit of confusion. Will these be 100 to 120 a piece? Possibly. And then how much will the big one be? The leader be? Maybe 200. Now, we don't have the price on the MMC version either. Now, that's still up in the air, but it seems like with their Bruticus, they were right around the $100, $105 mark each, and then you paid a bigger price for the main bot, I think $140? Looking right now, their Incursus is listed at $180, and I thought it was $140, so maybe the prices are starting to slip up on those. Also, because MMC has kind of kept theirs relatively in check while everyone's raising their prices, maybe they're jumping on board with the price increase. MMC also had their own upgrade kit, and they were charging $60 or something for their upgrade kit here. And that's the thing, that they're all kind of following suit with each other, but shouldn't this stuff be included? Is this just makes it better? Well, why didn't you include it in the first place? Was it to keep the base price low? I don't know. Or was it to add a little extra to their pockets later? More than likely. Now, I haven't handled MMC's Bruticus. It looks good. I've heard good things about it. And I do have one Limbot. It feels kind of a bit lightweight. It doesn't really feel like it has any diecast in it, but it does work. It works well in every mode. It looks decent, in every mode, and it feels like it'd make a solid leg. So I feel like they're going to do a relatively good combiner. I can't personally speak to it, but I've heard a lot of good things. So getting back to it, if you're not a scale junkie and you really don't care exactly which one's the biggest and you just care about aesthetic, now it's going to kind of go to your own taste and your own likings. Now looking at both these side by side, I do think they both look good. I'm actually starting to think MMC's is looking more tuned than they usually do. And we know X-Transbots try to hit tune as close as they can, unless it's just kind of a goofy looking character. But you know they've kind of done that with goofy looking characters with Hoist, and they went super tuned with Hoist. But getting back to the scale piece, the X-Transbots is going to scale well with the toy world. It's going to scale well with your Zeta Superion, and more than likely scale well with the Zeta Bruticus. But we are hearing that Fans Toys is probably going to be a little bit bigger than all of them. So we're hearing it's about 21.5 inches or something like that. So that Superion would be the biggest Superion theoretically. Now, we don't know for sure. We haven't seen this thing combined. And we're going to kind of get into these issues here in a little bit. Now, the MMC one will obviously scale well with itself, but will also scale well with the Zhujiang Jet Commander with his oversized version of the Combiner Wars Superior. It'll also scale well with the Devastator from Combiner Wars. Those should all look pretty good together, about in the same scale. And also the Jinbao upscaled version of Devastator, that should work also. So what's out there now or on the way or in the works or part of this war? Well, you've got the Generation toy, and this Guardian figure is actually going to be about 17 inches tall. I can't lock down an exact size anywhere, and I don't know for sure. But I'm hearing about 17 inches tall. And I think we're waiting for one more of the main bot to come out. So that is another option that's on the table. You can already get together most of the limbs, but people are kind of sweating it, worried, will this get finished? And even smaller than that, we've gotten a few in the past, the TFC toys, the Make Toys Guardia, and those are both around the 12 to 13 inch size frame. But there's going to be, or there has been, and it's coming out again, the Yes Model KO oversized that's going to be up to 15 inches for the Make Toys version on the right. So those other options are out there, but they mostly scale well with Chug, not Masterpiece. So getting into the big question here, where's Fans Toys in all this? Where's DX9 in all this? I'm going to talk about Fans Toys first. The first thoughts that come to my mind why we haven't been seeing Fans Toys put reveals out. They haven't been stepping on other people's toes lately like they usually do, which seems to be a regular occurrence for Fans Toys to put out pictures and reveals of what they've got, what they're working on when X-Transbots reveals something. And it's funny that they let that go and they haven't been stepping on their toes lately. Partially, I think it's because they have not put out a combiner yet. And they're still probably trying to figure out how to make it work right. See, there's a lot of issues that people have brought up about Fans Toys and their combiner. They make great individual figures, but as a combiner, they are going to be hefty. And the things we love about Fans Toys may be a problem. With all that weight, how are they going to be held together? How is the hardware going to work? How's it going to hold up? How's it going to combine? We haven't even seen an actual picture of either of their combiners in combine mode, and it's been well over a year. And so it starts to make you wonder, we've only got a few figures for both of these to be complete. They got to put the finishing touches, get it out, and be successful, or they're probably not going to make more combiners. And no, Fans Toys is not shut down. Now, DX9 actually surprised me, and they did a pretty good job with their combiner. Where are they? Why are they not in this Defensor war? Or why are they not going after a different character? I actually don't want a war of different companies making the same figure, even though you usually get a better product, usually, when you have that level of competition. I'd like to see different characters get tackled instead of 3 or 4 or 5 Defensors. Maybe we get a Computron in there too. But where's DX9 in all this? Well, DX9 has an issue with their design team, and So they're going the route of Toy World, and so they're going through some growing pains themselves. So it'll be interesting to see if they just get relegated to a greatest hit reissue company, or if they actually put new stuff out. And then there's a question about Takara. Now, Takara making a combiner for a Masterpiece scale would actually be a game changer. They would set a standard or an expectation. Is it parts forming? Is it not parts forming? And how well does it work? Is it engineered different? There's a lot of factors that go in, but they're not. They're not making a Masterpiece one yet. There's, of course, rumors of them doing Devastator. But again, nothing concrete. And we now know that their train bots, the Raiden, is going to be chug scale. So again, Masterpiece collectors are left with really two options right now going forward. Now, I really don't see a need to pre-order any of these figures. You can wait and see and just watch reviews to get the one that you want. I don't think either one of these are going to be selling out everywhere really fast, but that might not be true. They might actually sell out everywhere real fast in the absence of real competition. If there's nothing else out there, if one of these two will be the option, then maybe these will get scarfed up, selling out fast, and have a high level of demand just because it's the character. So I am curious what you guys think. Are you going for MMC? Are you going for X-Transbots? Are you not going for either one? Do you trust X-Transbots to put out a solid combiner? Or do you hold the trailer and the parts piece against them? Do you hold the upgrade kit against MMC? Let me know in the comments below. Like and subscribe. Titanium Hanger out.